King of Fighters 15.
Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm presenting you a starter guide, and the character we're focusing on today is the powerful crime lord of Southtown, Geese Howard. Just like Terry, an easy to play character who can dish out damage easily. However, while Terry's moves are very straightforward, Geese is a little more unorthodox. Horror Circle Forward and Punch is of course a grounded fireball, Rapuken. This fireball has very little recovery, and because of that, it is a very powerful neutral tool. You can basically harass your opponent from far away, and if they try to do anything about it, the low recovery ensures that you'll always be one step ahead. The heavy version is much slower, and it's not something you could just throw on neutral. However, it gives you an edge in Fireball Wars, as the first hit deletes Fireball, so you can send one of your own back. Same for the EX version. Next up is Fudoken, a palm attack with follow-ups. The only follow-up on the light version is another palm strike, which you can easily do from lights. The heavy version cannot be comboed from lights, but you have more options. Alongside the second palm strike, you also have a high-low mix-up. Like I said, they don't combo from lights, but if you get a jump in, it can lead to massive damage. And all three follow-up attacks are hard knockdowns, so even if you have recovery enabled in training mode, your opponent will not get up after the attack. While the heavy version cannot be comboed from lights, the EX version can. And the EX version of the second palm strike is a wall bounce, so you can use it in combos very effectively. Just know that if your opponent's blocking, that light Fudoken without a follow-up is your safest option. You're very minus, but due to the pushback, lights won't reach. Next up is Shippuken, your jumping fireball. Another way you're bullying the opponent is to throw a fireball then retreat back immediately. And retreat you can because this move has a lot of aerial pushback, so go back full screen. However, the high pushback means you're very vulnerable, as you cannot do anything until you land on the ground, which means that some characters may punish you from great distances. The EX version of Air Fireball does not change your jump arc at all. This, alongside jumping Light Punch, can make Geese pressure much scarier. Next up is Hishu Nishirin Zan, a safe on block pressure tool similar to Terry's Crack Shoot. Light version is safe and the heavy version is plus. And the heavy version is a hard knockdown. So it is possible to go for a funny little reset into death. The EX version of the move is a combo tool that causes a floor bounce. Now for one of Geese's most iconic moves, Raimei Gohanage. An OTG throw. When your opponent is knocked down, you can pick them up for extra damage. However, if your opponent knows how to recover from a fall, you may find situations where your opponent falling on the ground not that common. So you have to create some yourself. Every ender of heavy Fudoken heavy Hishu Nichiri Zan, forward A. And as a general rule, every single super in the game, including Raigo Rapuken and Raging Storm. Your other two supers are also hard knockdowns, but it would be impossible to pick up your opponent due to recovery or pushback. Some of these tools can only reliably scoop in the corner, but you don't want to use it in the corner because it side switches and you put yourself in the corner instead. Which is why I want to use the EX version instead. In the event that the opponent's too far away, you could also whiff cancel your forward kick into scoop. And lastly, Atemi. Geese has 3 different counters: a high counter, a mid counter, and a low counter. And as you can imagine, you have to match the counter to that respective move. So high counter for high attacks, mid counter for mid attacks, and low counter for low attacks. This is Geese Howard's only defensive tool. He does not have a Dragon Punch of any kind. It's also frame 3, so you cannot use it on Wake Up. Now the good news is that if you have Meter to burn, he does have versions you can use on Wake Up: EX High and EX Low. EX High covers both jump and mid attacks at the same time. But because high and low is still separated, an attempt at an anti-air may fail because the opponent was going for an empty hop low. So it's not super reliable. But hey, it's frame 1. Now a good thing about counters is that if you find yourself cornered, you can corner the opponent instead using high or mid counter and put them in the corner instead. Now you might be asking, what about special moves? So long as the special move isn't a projectile or a grab, every single one can be high countered, doesn't matter what it is. Now because of this consistency, there are special moves that hit low that can be countered with both high and low Atemi. For example is Yamazaki's Low Snake. Because Low Snake is a special move, you can counter high. And because Low Snake hits low, you can use low counter. Now because these are counters and not actual anti-airs, you have to guess. And that's what can make this move difficult to use during your opponent's pressure. Geese Howard supers start with Raigo Rapuken. Pretty solid Shinku Hadouken style projectile for Geese. It's good as a combo ender. And can OTG. Because it's super fast and has OTG property, it's pretty much your only way to OTG from across the screen, because your scoop isn't far away. You can also cancel Rapuken into Raigo Rapuken. If you suspect your opponent has a reflector and will use it the moment you'll throw out a fireball, Raigo Rapuken eats regular Rapuken, so they still lose in the end. Your other super is Onihamon. Pretty much a better version of your counter. Alongside doing 50 extra damage, the counter window pretty much covers your entire body, and you can super cancel it. Geese has 2 level 3s. His standard level 3 for combos is Raging Storm. Just note that if you're canceling Raigo Rapuken into Raging Storm, the cancel window is pretty small. Even if you miss the cancel window, the super OTGs outside of combos, it's an anti-air. And it's also Geese's only true reversal outside of his counter systems. His other level 3 is one that isn't as combo friendly, but is much stronger than Raging Storm when used raw. So it's one you'll use to catch the opponent by surprise. Rashomon. It does half your opponent's life. If you feel like scaring your opponent and doing a little bit of trolling, this is the super for you. The grab itself is frame 1, or I should say frame 0. If your opponent already isn't jumping before the super flash, they cannot escape. So that's it for Geese. A really fun character to play. Defensively can be a little weird, but on offense he is a pretty powerful character. If you like this guide, leave a comment telling which character you want me to do a guide for. Also like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.